Hey guys, this is Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and today let's talk about the Lakers' newest Exhibit 10 training camp signing, Kylor Kelley, to see whether or not he has the skills as a big man to potentially usurp the Lakers' Colin Castleton for one of their 3 two-way spots. So who is Kylor Kelley? Well, Kylor Kelley is a 27-year-old athletic, shot-blocking, rim-running big man. He is 7 feet tall, with a 7'3" wingspan, and he weighs 215 to 220 pounds, so he's a little slight as a big man. He graduated from Oregon State University in 2020 and went undrafted in the NBA that same summer. During his time at Oregon State University, the big man averaged 11 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks. In his 2 years with OSU, Kylor Kelley ranks first all-time in total blocked shots, blocking a total of 211 shots. He also ranks first all-time in terms of blocks per game average, averaging 3.4 blocks a game. During his senior season at OSU, he also holds the single-season record for most blocked shots in a year with 107 blocks. Lastly, he was also selected to the Pac-12 All-Defensive Team in both 2019 and 2020. Fast-forwarding over to his more recent professional basketball career, Kylor Kelley last season played in the G League for the Maine Celtics, where he averaged 8.4 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.9 blocks. He also set the Maine Celtics team record for most blocked shots in a single season with 105 blocked shots. And for his rim protecting efforts, he was named to the G League's 2024 All-Defensive Team. And after his successful stint with the Maine Celtics last year, this past July, Kylor Kelley joined the Oklahoma City Thunder as the starting center on their Summer League team, where he averaged 3.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks in 18 minutes. His 1.5 blocks in 18 minutes was an OKC team high. But now that we've got some of Kylor Kelley's general history and context laid out, let's now dive into the actual strengths and weaknesses of his game. But before we do that, if you guys have found the statistical context and background into Kylor Kelley's basketball experience insightful in any way up until this point, then please do me a favor and click the subscribe button on this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Now let's get into the game tape and assess Kylor Kelley's weaknesses and strengths. As I outlined at the top, during his time with OSU and his time with the Maine Celtics in the G League, Kylor Kelley's number one strength as a basketball player is his elite shot blocking. One look at one of Kylor Kelley's shot blocking compilation videos on YouTube and you'll realize Kylor Kelley is a dynamic shot blocker who loves to demoralize his opponents at the rim. His tremendous bounce and athleticism really stand out as the weak side help defender, where he's able to gauge the action, recoil appropriately, and then use the full force of his above-average vertical bounce to completely erase opposing players' shots, doing so with a tenacity and flair that's very exciting to watch. And good luck trying to attack him in open space, because if he can see the ball in your hands, he does a great job of tracking where it is at all times and will go right up with you at the rim without fear of being posterized. And most of the time in that one-on-one battle, he will win. Even if he gets beat on the play by a faster ball handler, he's still able to recover pretty well and use his length and bounce to still erase shots at the rim. And outside of his highlight reel blocks, Kylor Kelley is also pretty fundamentally sound when it comes to his positioning and timing. He's typically able to stand his ground and read the offensive player's movements without biting on too many shot fakes or picking up too many unnecessary fouls. And when the time is right, he simply uses his long 7'3" wingspan to reject opponent shots. Another strength of Kelley's that's related to his elite shot blocking prowess is his above average overall agility and mobility as a 7-foot center. Unlike most other lanky 7-footers, Kylor Kelley isn't a stiff center with an awkward loafing gait. He can actually move his feet a bit out on the perimeter, which allows him to defend the pick and roll adequately enough, where he's able to track where the ball is going at all times and still recover to reject the final shot at the rim. Overall, Kylor Kelley also has a pretty good motor, and while it can wax and wane a little bit, he is a pretty good rim-running big who can run the floor very fluidly on both ends of the court. And when his battery is running the highest, he can really put on the afterburners to sprint back for an easy bucket or to get back into the play to clean things up in transition on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, Kylor Kelley is a big proponent of the chase down block, and some of his most exciting block highlights come from him racing back down the court to catch up to an unsuspecting offensive player and smacking their shot off the glass or out of bounds to save the easy bucket for his team. Now, when it comes to his offensive strengths, Kylor Kelley is a high-octane vertical lob threat and a very efficient pick-and-roll roll man. Because of his above-average athleticism and length, Kelley just needs a small open pocket of airspace in order to roll to the rim and sky for these easy lobs and alley-oops. And an underrated aspect of how effectively Kelley is able to get these easy rolls to the rim is his overall good spatial awareness and screening instincts. He just knows how to set a legitimate hard screen without slipping too early, and then when the time is right, he just fans out and looks for the lob opportunity. Another underrated aspect of Kylor Kelley's game is his strength as a connective screener and playmaker. When he's out on the court operating set actions, you can just tell that he has a high basketball IQ and a good natural offensive feel for the game as a connective playmaker, whether it be as the hockey assist man or as a playmaker off of the short roll. He's good at making the extra pass, making quick reads, and just keeping the ball moving in general. The Maine Celtics and the OKC Thunder would regularly utilize Kelley at the top of the key as a screener, helping facilitate different dribble handoff actions, pick and roll actions, and even some double drag sets for the lob as well. But now let's get into some of Kelley's glaring weaknesses. First and foremost, Kylor Kelley is not a floor spacing big. He has no semblance of a three-point shot, and in fact, he did not attempt a single three-pointer during his time at OSU or his time with the Maine Celtics in the G League. And while he has shown some flashes of having good touch in the mid-range and inside the three-point line in the past, his jump shot is still much too inconsistent to be fully relied upon. Secondly, and probably the biggest knock on Kylor Kelley's game throughout his career is his lack of physicality. Against bigger, bulkier, and more explosive players, he can often be overmatched, and all of a sudden he starts looking a lot less athletic and dynamic as a finisher at the rim. And then defensively, when he's forced to guard these bulkier bigs in the post, he can often get bullied, pushed out of position, and simply overpowered. In line with his lack of physicality is his inability to ever be a prominent rebounder. He only averaged 5 rebounds at OSU during his college career, and with the Maine Celtics and the Oklahoma City Thunder, he only averaged around 6.5 rebounds a game. Now, a part of his diminished rebounding numbers may be due to the fact that he is typically the primary shot blocker who's spending most of his time erasing shots at the rim, but at the same time, his lack of physicality doesn't do him any justice in helping him secure tougher, contested rebounds against stronger, longer big men who can just push him out of the way. So, after looking at his strengths and weaknesses, what type of big man would I comp Kylor Kelley to at the next level? The player that I'd probably comp Kylor Kelley to would be Willie Cauley-Stein. Willie Cauley-Stein, like Kylor Kelley, was also a lanky, frail, but bouncy athlete who got most of his points off pick-and-roll lobs, rim runs, and by cutting into open space in the dunker spot. Now, outside of Willie Trill Cauley-Stein, who's unfortunately been in the news for some very scary drug-related reasons, outside of Willie Cauley-Stein, I can also see a little bit of Chris Birdman Anderson in Kylor Kelley as well, when it comes to the very tenacious, fiery way they both like to reject shots at the rim. Now, Kylor Kelley is definitely not as strong or as physical as Chris Anderson was, and probably not as crazy or eccentric either, but they both do play with a very bouncy verve and dynamicness to their game and the way they like to finish off lobs that are very reminiscent to one another. Also, they're both white, so there is that very low-hanging fruit that I just mindlessly picked from the player comp tree and took a big bite out of. So, in conclusion, do I see Kylor Kelley as being anything more for the Lakers next season than a fun, rim-protecting big on the South Bay Lakers? Probably not. Now, could I see him one day supplanting Colin Castleton as a better center option for one of the Lakers' two-way spots? Yes, I could. if Kelley is actually able to get the nod over Colin Castleton at some point this season for one of those two-way spots, I think it's going to be because the Lakers are looking for more defensive help and motor at that position. While Castleton is the vastly superior offensive player who's a better passer, spacer, and an overall more versatile shot maker, he's not as quick twitch athletic or explosive as Kylor Kelley is. He's slower and more loafing in his movements and can also be out-physicaled against bigger, stronger players as well. And while Colin Castleton may actually be the better positional rebounder, when it comes to being a rim protector and a vertical lob threat with some energy and speed, Kylor Kelley is the best center option out of the two. Kylor Kelley is actually closer to being more of a Jackson Hayes type with better shot blocking ability than Jackson Hayes, while Colin Castleton is more of the Christian Wood type with better offensive versatility. But who knows, when it comes to a two-way spot, I would not mind the Lakers going with Kylor Kelley as their insurance big man at the lower levels to give them that injection of energy and bounce on both ends of the court. Either way, keep an eye out for Kylor Kelley during training camp and preseason to see if he pops at all and if there's any potential in him as a two-way center for the Lakers this upcoming year. With that said, this has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Please do me a favor and click the subscribe button on this channel. Click the like button, ring the notification bell. Please leave a comment down below, share this video, do all the things. Till next time, I will catch you guys on the next video breakdown. See ya.